Have you ever felt like you're constantly trying to please everyone, but you still don't get the respect you deserve? If this sounds familiar, I want you to know you're not alone. But more importantly, I want to tell you there's a powerful shift you can make, and it all starts from within. Today, we're going to explore why people truly start respecting you only when you start respecting yourself. And I'll share a story to show you exactly how this transformation happens. Let me tell you about Sarah. For years, Sarah was the classic people pleaser. At work, she was the go-to person for every extra task nobody else wanted. Sarah, can you stay late to finish this report? Of course. Sarah, can you cover my shift this weekend? No problem. But the opposite happened. Her colleagues saw her as a pushover, not a team player. Her boss piled on more work without any extra recognition or pay. She was reliable, sure, but she wasn't respected. Her personal life wasn't much different. Her friends would call her to vent for hours, but would be too busy when Sarah needed someone to talk to. Sarah felt exhausted, resentful, and invisible. She couldn't understand what she was doing wrong. She was being so nice, so why wasn't anyone nice back? The turning point for Sarah came after a particularly rough week. Her boss had given a promotion she was qualified for to a junior colleague who was more vocal about his ambitions. That same weekend, a friend she'd bent over backwards for bailed on her birthday dinner with a flimsy excuse. Sarah hit a low point. Sitting alone, she realized the common denominator in all these situations was her. She had taught everyone in her life that her time, her energy, and her feelings weren't valuable. How? By not valuing them herself. This is a fundamental concept in human psychology. It's called the mirroring effect. We subconsciously mirror the behaviors and attitudes we observe in others. But this also works in reverse. Others often mirror back to us the attitude we have towards ourselves. When you project a lack of self-respect, you are non-verbally telling people that you don't need to be taken seriously. People aren't necessarily malicious. They are simply responding to the cues you are sending out. You are the one setting the price tag on your own worth. If you mark yourself down for a clearance sale, you can't be surprised when people treat you like a bargain. So, Sarah decided to make a change. It wasn't an overnight switch. It was a series of small, intentional, and often uncomfortable actions. The first step was learning to say no. The next time a colleague asked her to take on an extra project when her plate was already full, she took a deep breath. Instead of her usual automatic, "Yes," she said, "I'd like to help, but I'm at full capacity right now with my own deadlines. I need to focus on them to ensure they're done well." The colleague was surprised, but simply said, "Okay, I understand," and went to ask someone else. There was no drama, no fallout. The world didn't end. This was a revelation for Sarah. She realized that setting a boundary didn't make her a bad person. It made her a professional who managed her time effectively. This small act of saying no was a huge act of self-respect. She was telling herself and her colleague that her primary responsibilities mattered. Hey, it sounds like you're going through a lot. I've only got about 10 more minutes before I need to get back to something I'm working on, but I'm here for you until then. She wasn't being rude, she was being honest. She was valuing her own time. Slowly but surely, her friends started to understand that Sarah's time was a resource to be respected. The quality of her conversations improved, and the friends, who only wanted a free therapist, gradually faded away, leaving room for more reciprocal, healthy friendships. The second major change Sarah made was to project confidence, even when she didn't feel it. At work, she started speaking up in meetings. Before, she would have great ideas but would be too intimidated to share them, afraid they'd be shot down. She started preparing for meetings, jotting down a few key points she wanted to make. When she spoke, she made eye contact. She presented her ideas clearly and calmly. One day, during a team brainstorm, she proposed a new workflow system. She explained the potential benefits, citing specific examples of how it could save time and reduce errors. Instead of dismissing it, Her manager listened intently. He asked a few questions, and other colleagues chimed in with supportive comments. Her idea was implemented the following month and was a huge success. For the first time, her colleagues saw her not just as the person who does the grunt work, but as a strategic thinker, a valuable contributor. That single act of confident contribution did more for her reputation than 2 years of being a yes woman. This isn't about being arrogant or loud. It's about owning your space and your value. Self-respect means investing in yourself. For Sarah, this meant taking a course to improve her public speaking skills. It meant dedicating time to hobbies she loved, instead of always being on standby for others. It meant buying clothes that made her feel good, not just ones that were practical. Each of these acts sent a message to her subconscious. I am worthy of investment. I am worthy of care. When you carry yourself with self-respect, people notice. Your posture changes. The way you speak changes. Your decision-making changes. You stop apologizing for your existence. You stop seeking validation from external sources because you've started generating it internally. This internal validation creates a powerful aura of self-assurance. People are naturally drawn to and respect those who are comfortable in their own skin. They see someone who knows their worth, and they instinctively adjust their own behavior to match that perception. So, if you're feeling like Sarah, where do you start? Here are 3 practical steps. First, practice the art of the positive no. When you have to decline something, you don't need a long, apologetic explanation. A simple, firm, and polite "No, I can't do that right now" is enough. Remember, no is a complete sentence. You are not rejecting the person, you are protecting your own energy and time. Second, start tracking your achievements. Get a journal, and at the end of each day, write down one thing you did well. It doesn't have to be monumental. It could be as simple as, I spoke up in a meeting, or I finished a difficult task. This practice rewires your brain to focus on your strengths and builds a solid foundation of self-esteem. You start to see yourself as a capable, effective person. Third, invest in your own growth. Is there a skill you want to learn? A book you want to read? A fitness goal you want to achieve? Carve out non-negotiable time in your schedule for it. This isn't selfish, it's essential. When you invest in yourself, you are sending the most powerful signal possible that you are valuable. The journey from being a people pleaser to a self-respecting individual is not easy, but it is the most rewarding journey you will ever take. Sarah's story didn't end with a promotion and perfect friendships overnight, but what she gained was something far more precious, a deep and unshakable respect for herself. The external respect from others was simply a natural byproduct. Remember, you teach people how to treat you. Start by treating yourself with the dignity, kindness, and respect you deserve. The world will follow your lead. Thanks so much for watching. If this message resonated with you, give this video a like and subscribe for more content on building a confident and fulfilling life. Let me know in the comments one small step you're going to take this week to build your self-respect. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next one.